Namaskar. We are having a glimpse of sustainable development goals. Today happens to be SDG 8 to promote sustained, inclusive, and sustainable economic growth, full and productive employment, and decent work. Okay. SDG 8 has 12 targets and 17 indicators. SDG 8 mainly promotes the green economy that reaches at the grassroots level, having sustainability imbibed in it. SDG 8 also talks about provision of employment to all with decent working conditions, with full social protection, and targets to overcome the challenges to implement such supporting policies of inclusive growth. Okay, clear. We are going to deal humans with like humans and all species equally, so that Mother Earth is protected well. All entities are taken care. SDG 8 got impacted due to pandemic and rising prices due to other reasons as well. Okay, like there are more than 26 places where the war-like situation is there, and last time we saw that the place where more than 1000 deaths are there, any complex situation in any part of the world, that is known as war condition. Okay, so via SDG 8, United Nations is targeting to reduce the impact of the uncertainties and is trying to improve the implementation capabilities of the economic policies of the governments across the globe. At present, there are 193 nations which are part of United Nations. Okay, SDG 8 also targets to create less disruption in the whole physical internet or virtual internet, may be by wars or by accidents, or if ships that created blockade of the Suez Canal, or may it be due to the natural calamities or whatever it may be. Now, what is physical internet? Suppose you order something from USA that travels from USA to India. Maybe in Bombay it lands. From Bombay that comes to, for example, we are living in Nagpur, that comes to maybe flight or maybe by road or maybe by railways. Then at the end of the day, the person, the courier guy, brings it at your doorstep. That is a physical internet. Virtual internet, this is all internet. Okay, may it be wars, whatever the condition may be, or accidents, or blockade like of Suez Canal, or maybe natural calamities, earthquakes, tsunami, and all those things. Still, the physical internet should flow and information should flow freely. That is what the SDG 8 is trying to target. Why is it the need of the hour? Okay, now let us see. As per the UN 2022 report, more than 2 billion workers who are humans, happen to be humans only, still don't have social protection and are still doing unsafe jobs. Informal employment is still 60% of the total job market, meaning they are not getting regular salaries and they don't have the pension plans or health benefits and other humane benefits being provided by the organizations they work in. Straight away, United Nations have put a black dot on the humanity. The report further claims that the working environment also has to improve. For example, if you watch the laborers working on the construction sites in semi-urban areas or in villages in developing or underdeveloped or least developed nations or states, you may say, you will find that they don't wear any safety gears. Yes, it's true. They don't wear even helmets, etc. And without protection, they do a lot of hazardous jobs and works. You might have seen, the construction workers are climbing on the, the bamboos are there or these are there and no safety gears are there. They are climbing, and on the 10th floor or so they are walking on the pillar or whatever it may be. Hazardous job. The report further claims that the working environment also has to improve. For example, another example could be, there are people who are working in mines in many countries. Okay, so if it doesn't improve, then what's the use to be called us as humans? The global economy declined by 4% in 2019 during pandemic. However, it increased almost by 5% in 2021. Still, a lot of efforts are needed to create jobs and strengthen the economies of the developing and least developed nations. United Nations feels that if we achieve the 7% growth in these nations, then they can recover as faster as they can, in fact, at a faster rate. Hence, developed nations need to invest more, contribute more in the development of these nations, and they must build inclusive framework to achieve desired growth and thus SDG by 2030. Because unless the powerful people and people having money help, these people are not going to come up straight away. There is one classical solution by International Labour Organization ILO, which is one of the primary body of to look after progress of SDG 8. Means United Nations of Organizations. It has generated an idea of global job pact to generate employment for the global youth. If implemented judicially, one of the biggest curses on youth, the unemployment, can be overcome and can be solved easily. Equal skills and qualifications should bring equal opportunities to all. This is next point, having those attributes, but still ladies get almost 15% less salaries than their main counterpart in more than 100 nations. It's again a black dot on the white paper called the humanity. It shows we need to put a lot of efforts to employ every able human and person with disabilities too by 2030, thus creating value on every front, backed by human values on every front. This way, we might be able to reduce the devilish acts such as human trafficking and modern slavery too. There are people who are creating the modern slavery kind of thing as well, and human trafficking, it is a curse to the humanity. Globally, unemployment has increased and it stands more than 6%. Thus, more than 200 million people having skills and good qualifications are still unemployed in 2023 as per the UN stats. Even though technology is evolving and it has evolved in almost all the domains, still innovation can add value in the labor intensive sector too. And there will be, technology changes, and so the skills changes, but the jobs are definitely created. It can increase not only productivity but also increase economic growth, and thus generation of skilled workforce and jobs for them can also be achieved by promoting development oriented policies, which are to be supporting to the startups and entrepreneurship at various levels, from micro to mid-size to big industries level as well. The job seekers should be trained in such a way that they can build the green economy even in the increased production and consumption of goods and services without damaging the environment. That is very important. Then it becomes a green economy. Next one, you might have seen the photograph of aeroplanes parked one behind the other on several airports during the pandemic, thus showing globally the tourism suffered a lot. Various United Nations reports prove that tourism has capabilities to create millions of jobs, as it promotes the local culture and products and services as well. Finally, though the people holding bank accounts has increased since last few decades, but still 1/4 of the adults globally still do not hold any account in bank or in any financial institutions. I mean, there is no transparency about what the activities they do. Okay, that is thus it is suggested by the United Nations that financial institutions and insurance and their services need capacity building, at the same time trust building exercise with better supporting policies from the government to fetch better and sustainable results. And the article ends over here. Okay, so let us achieve sustainable development goals and let us go to moon, Mars and beyond, so that humanity survives and the next generation might become, the supreme human being as well. Thank you very much.